This is where we're going to train the kids to actually get jobs in the industry. We're going to give them the basic tools that they need, also the skills that they need to understand where they fit into the industry.
All the animated things, because we have everything that we need in the scenes.
They are learning the principles.
The 2019 season is well underway, and tournament season is at hand. And tonight, of course, we're looking at the battle of the two leagues, the Southeast Yosemite League versus the South Yosemite League. We're coming to you live from West High School. And the West High Vikings, you just heard it, are taking on the Foothill Trojans. We'll get on to public address announcer for the beginning of the game and the player announcements. For Foothill, number 7, Natalia Galvin, middle blocker. And number 8, Catherine Sajik, setter, senior setter. And number 9, Jasmine Hernandez, the middle blocker, the best all-around player on that Foothill Trojan squad. Libero number 11, Alexis Arias, the senior. And junior right side hitter number 13, Caitlin Torres. Junior outside hitter Jada Hurd. We're going to be hearing her name a lot this evening. And number 16, the middle blocker, and sometimes right side hitter number 16, Samantha Rodriguez.
And now the starter for your West Side Vikings. Libero, number 4, Erica Barraza.
The Viking lineup, number 4, senior Erica Barraza.
Number 8, Talia Mosley.
Number 8, Talia Mosley, the senior transfer over from Stockdale High School, 5'10" middle blocker. And number 9, Stephanie Castillo, the junior setter.
Number 10, Destiny Davis.
Number 10, Destiny Davis. She's also a senior middle blocker.
Number 11, Angelina Dominguez.
Angelina Dominguez, another senior middle blocker at 5'10".
Number 13,
And a lot of height in that middle blocker position for the West High Vikings. And number 13, Treasure Cotton, the junior outside hitter. And number 14, Zandrea Araneta, the senior right side hitter.
The Vikings are coached by Kelsey Johnson.
And now we'll go down as we always do for the playing of our national anthem.
And our country with our national anthem.
And welcome in on the broadcast, everybody. Joining you from West High School, the West High Vikings once again taking on the Foothill Trojans today. I'm Tom Myers. Welcome to the broadcast. Joining me, of course, our producer, cameraman extraordinaire, Kevin Willey. Kevin, it's going to be one exciting night of volleyball here. SEYL versus the SYL, a matchup of West High at 2-2 and Foothill at 6-6, so they're 500 each. And tonight, somebody's going to go under and somebody's going to go over.
Well, I have to say, it's pretty exciting for you and me to be doing this because there's nobody from Arvin here.
There's a certain gentleman whose initials are Vance Palm who is not with us this evening.
Well, and Tom and I both went to West High School. So.
That's right. Kevin Willey, a graduate of 1985, a West High Viking. Myself, a graduate of 1989, also a West High Viking. I played volleyball in this very gym on that very court in 1988 and 1989. My coach, of course, the incomparable assistant coach of that powerful Centennial team, Mr. David Wittenberg. So, David, I hope maybe you're listening this evening. Of course, the 30-year high school reunion coming up for the West High Vikings here pretty soon in November, and I'm glad to be on the broadcast here saying hello to a lot of my West High Viking classmates. Hope you guys are tuning in and hope that you are all happy, healthy, and wise. So,
I tried to play badminton and volleyball and basketball in this school.
Right, and we did that too. Yeah, of course. So, of course, we're going to get it kicked off here in a second, but a little bit of a rundown real quick. Once again, Brooke Charles in her second season at the helm at Foothill, and again, 6-6 so far on the season. They're in the the SEYL. Of course, teams that are matched up with them, Miramonte, North Highland, South, and East. And for the West High Vikings, the old SYL. Originally, I think BHS was in that along with North, South, and maybe Highland or East. And we're underway. And a nice up by number 13, Treasure Cotton. And a big block by Talia Mosley at the net, number 8. We're going to hear her name called all night long. Wow. 1-0 here in the early going. West High leads Foothill. That was Stephanie Castillo with a serve there. And that one a little bit long by number 14, Jada Hurd. And the Vikings off to a quick 2-0 run. West High having a little bit of success so far this season. Took that powerful Miramonte squad to 5 games and still lost, but to take Miramonte to 5 sets, that's quite an accomplishment for a West High Viking team. Miramonte, of course, going through the playoffs and through the Valley last year and doing very well. Vikings off to a 3-0 lead here. Nice swing by Jada Hurd there. That one out of the back row. Sails a little long. And the Vikings now 4-0 in the early going. And Brooke Charles wants to talk it over. Fans, we'd like to thank the Kern High School District, Motor City, Bakersfield College, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union for their continued support of students in the district. And, of course, coming up this week, we'll mention this throughout the broadcast this evening. Of course, we've got the Kern High Network broadcast of high school football coming up on Friday night. Ridgeview at BHS at 7:30 p.m. On the call, Vance Palm, Kenny Calvin, and Kevin, of course, you're going to be there on the camera and production. And then at Frontier High School, View Park from down south, and Johnny Soper. Johnny just back from Notre Dame this last year. Doing a great job for the Kern High Network here, and we don't know how much longer we're going to keep him. That's one talented young man on the mic. And, of course, Rick Van Horn doing commentary for that as well. And, of course, our cameraman, Julian Wilson. Julian will be there to run the camera and do production for us as well. So we hope you tune in. Once again, 2 games of the week coming up Friday night at 7:30. And a good rally going here. And that one, that's number 14, Jada Hurd off the block and down. Not a lot on it, but got it through. And now it's 4-1 and going back to serve, number 8, Catherine Sajic. And a nice swing. That one's wide by Jada Hurd. And now the Vikings lead extended 5-1. So now going back to serve, the 5'10 middle blocker, Talia Mosley. Mosley, a transfer over from Stockdale this year. And I've seen Talia play for a number of years, club ball as well as at Stockdale High School. Little passing that one deep. And that one sails long. Treasure Cotton, the junior, past the end line, and it's 5-2. West High leading here in the first set. Coming into the game now for the Trojans, number 13, Caitlin Torres. And serving number 14, Jada Hurd, and Hurd puts that under the net. And now it's 6-2, and here comes the libero back in the game for Foothill. Of course, that libero, number 11, Alexis Arias. And coming into the game for the West High Vikings, number 10, Destiny Davis, now serving number 11, Angelina Dominguez. Destiny Davis also at that middle blocker spot as she slides over. Nice hit, swing out of the back row. And that one mishandled. And now the score is 6-3 in favor of the Vikings.
Point goes to Foothill on that one. Score is 6, Vikings 6, Guests 4, Foothill 4. A little bit of confusion.
Sorry about the little break there. We wanted to get a correction on a name, and that is Tatiana Sahi. I was pronouncing it Sajic, but we never did get a correction on the name before the game started, and then, of course, panic sets in. So number 1, Tatiana Sahi, the senior setter, on the squad for the Foothill Trojans. So now it's 6-4, West High leading, and that serve coming from number 7, Natalia Galvin. And a double contact called. And obviously that might have been as a result of number 9, Jasmine Hernandez, doing that quick dump over and them having to handle it. Of course, we're going to talk about Jasmine Hernandez all night long as well. So a fantastic player on this Foothill Trojan squad, the real backbone of that squad. Six to 5, West High leads. And there's a hit. That was going to go down anyway by number 10, Destiny Davis, but Foothill called in the net, and now it's 7-5, West High leading. Coming into the game for the Trojans, number 4, Kelly Valencia, the senior defensive specialist, and serving number 14, Zandria Araneta. There's Araneta, and she sends that one wide, and now it's 7-6. Foothill making a slight comeback here in the early going. Now transferring in for the Trojans, number 1, Tatiana Sahi, and Sahi will serve. And for the Mustangs, for the Vikings, number 3, Grace Fowler, the senior setter. So Fowler now in the back row, actually in the front row right now. I stand corrected. She is in the back row. They run a 6-2 offense. She's lining up in the early going. And, of course, that one dumped over the net, and the point goes to the Vikings. They lead 8-6. And going back to serve, number 13, Treasure Cotton. Hernandez not able to get the set that she wants just yet. That one sent deep, handled well by the libero, but there's a little confusion between Sahi and Valencia, and the point goes to the Vikings, and now it's 9-6 here in the first set. And that one in the net. Point goes to the Trojans. Fans, if you remember last week, I called Kern Valley out at Shafter, and Kern Valley, a valiant effort, really showed up and gave Shafter pretty much everything they could handle. Got a large lead quite a few times, and Shafter just hung in and came back every time. Well, Foothill beat that Kern Valley squad and also beat Independence, and I had a conversation with Brooke Charles, and she said she couldn't be more thrilled to beat her alma mater. So now in for the Vikings, number 11, Angelina Dominguez, and back to serve number 10, Destiny Davis. 10-7, Vikings lead the Trojans in the early going. And that one just off the fingertips, number 14, Jada Hurd, and it drops to the floor. Side out for the Trojans, and now transferring in for the Trojans, number 7, Natalia Galvin. Jasmine Hernandez with the serve. Nice floater. Talia Mosley on the right side, and she really hammers it home. Zandria Araneta back in the game in the front row, and serving number 9, Stephanie Castillo. 11 serving 8. Vikings on top of the Trojans in the first set. And a big reach back on that one, number 10, Diana Carino. On a ball like that, you kind of have to make sure it's out in front of you a little bit, or you're going to sail it long, and that's what she did. Here's Mosley. And a nice tip. Nice pick up there. And a smart play there by number 11, Angelina Dominguez, the 5'10 middle blocker. And boy, did she see that. Spotted perfectly over there on the right side. Castillo once again with the serve. (13 to 8) here in the first set. Vikings lead the Trojans. That one sent long. Picked up by the libero. And that one just wide, and the score is 14 to 8 now. The Vikings leading the Trojans in the early going. Now serving number 9, Stephanie Castillo. And the whistle blew, but the Trojans weren't ready to go yet. They had rallied together, and the official blew the whistle. And at that point, I don't know if they're going to play it over again or if they're going to score it. Looks like they're going to score it. It's 15 to 8 now. So a slight misstep by the Trojans there. That one's set to the middle. And a smart play there, but a little too much. That was number 11, Angelina Dominguez. She sends that one just about 2 feet too long. And the point goes to the Trojans. And now coming into the game for Foothill, number 16, Samantha Rodriguez, the senior middle blocker and right side hitter. And coming into serve, number 8, Catherine Sahik. Catherine, the sister of Tatiana Sahik, the team setter. And, of course, Catherine also a setter, so both of them gifted at the setting position in their own right. That one just off her hands, over her head, and it's out. And the point goes to the Vikings, and now they lead 16 to 9. And now Tatiana Mosley's going to come on out. And in for her to serve is going to be number 6, Shanice Cristobal, the outside hitter. Shanice, a sophomore on the squad. You know, one thing I noticed about both these squads, they're stacked with juniors and seniors, not very many underclassmen. And for a program to build well, you try to find as many at the younger ranks to kind of speed up your program. And so I'm sure that West High working on that. They do have a few sophomores on the team right now, but they are one is injured, and Shanice, of course, is the other one. And a lot of passed balls going right now. There's a nice set. And that's a good one by Angelina Dominguez, the middle blocker. Just spotted it and set it over the net, literally right past the tape. We didn't see the net move, but it was really low. And a hard one to handle for the Foothill Trojans, and serving again, Cristobal. 17-9 here in the first set. And that one sails a little bit long, and the point's going to go to Foothill, 17-10. Once again on the broadcast this evening, I'm Tom Myers. Good evening, everybody. Along with me, cameraman Kevin Willie, and our story guy handling the ins and outs and the details for the evening is none other than Mr. Stephen Lynch, our good friend. I don't think, is Mark Duffel here doing photography tonight? There he is. There's Mark. So a good crew we got working the game this evening. We thank you for joining in on the broadcast here. 17-11, Foothill trails here in the first set. Nice up by the Trojans off the block there. Good focus. There's a good set and a big swing, and it was out of bounds, but she saved it. And the point's going to go to the Vikings. Number 13, Treasure Cotton with the kill. Back in the game for the Vikings, number 10, Destiny Davis, and serving number 11, Angelina Dominguez. Nice serve just over the net and a good tip. And the Vikings called in the net. That was Treasure Cotton. 18-12. Vikings lead. Viking libero back in the game, number 4, Erica Barraza. And serving for the Trojans, number 7, Natalia Galvin. Nice tip over the net by number 4 is Andrea Araneta. And, of course, that was a good pickup. The Trojans doing a really good job of picking up that dink. And once again, Foothill having a little trouble getting set. But luckily that ball served long, and the point goes to the Trojans. And now they trail 19-13 into the game for the Vikings. Number 3, Grace Fowler. And in for the Trojans, looks like number 10, Diana Carino, and serving number 1, Tatiana Sahi. That one's going to be over the net. And once again, you're going to see Treasure Cotton in the net. Foot went all the way across, but she was also in the net there too, so he didn't call it that way. He just called her crossing over. So point once again to the Trojans, and a quick dump by the setter there for the Vikings. And a big swing there by number 9. We were waiting to see it, and there it is, Jasmine Hernandez. I was told that she has some power on that swing.
Foothill needs more of that right now.
Yeah, right now the Foothill Trojans having a little bit of trouble getting control off the pass, even on the easy ones. But they really are going to be looking for number 9, Jasmine Hernandez. And, of course, that one sails a little bit long, and the point goes to the Vikings. And serving number 13, Treasure Cotton. Vikings lead 20-15 here in the first set. And that one was out of bounds, and it got saved. And, of course, that one off her hand and wide, and now it's 21-15, Vikings lead. And in instances like those, you really need your teammates to call you off because they see it better than you do. And Vikings having a few mistakes because they're sending the ball long on a number of occasions and serves, so they're going to have to curtail that one. Now it's 21-16 incoming into the game. For the Trojans, number 14, Jada Hurd, and serving number 13, Caitlin Torres. And that one not handled well by Destiny Davis. And now it's 21-17. Foothill slowly climbing back in this one. And again, Foothill, signature win so far, beating Kern Valley and Independence. And they're going to have, they're going to be a little busy this year because they've got Miramonte, North, Highland, South, and East on their schedule. Several of those programs are pretty good. And now, Kelsey Graham, the Viking coach, wants to have a conversation and talk it over. We're going to do the same thing. We'll break away for just a second. We'll be right back here on the Kern High Network.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
I'm a millennial, and for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do my banking online and at the ATM. And with access to over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs nationwide, Kern Schools is always close by.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there.
And we're back. And while we were at break, I got a little nugget from Stephen Lynch, our reporter here. And, of course, Stephen Lynch, no stranger to statistics. Vikings 0-8 against Foothill since 2015. Let that one sink in. So tonight, I could be the luck of the draw for them, much like I was for Golden Valley last week against South. Golden Valley, they said 18. I thought it was 19. They were 0-19 until I called that game against South last Friday night. So it's 21-19 here in the early going in the first set. Vikings lead, but a timeout called at 21-18, and Vikings passing the ball, and that one's going to be long, and they let it go, and now it's 21-20. So a little excitement here early. A little confusion on the pass, but it's handled and just dumped over the net, and it's good for the point, 22-20, and the Vikings back in the lead by 2. Couple players coming in for the Vikings, number 11, Angelina Dominguez. Also number 11, the libero for the Foothill Trojans, number 11, Alexis Arias. And serving number 10, Destiny Davis. And that's a big swing right there by number 9, Jasmine Hernandez. Handled by the Trojans, and here she goes again. Another big swing, and that point is down. It wouldn't have mattered. They were going to be called under the net anyway, so point to the Trojans. And then we're seeing right now while Jasmine Hernandez with a ton of power there on that left side. 22-21, Trojans trail here in the first set. And that one put over by Angelina Dominguez. And in case many of you haven't noticed, kind of an odd-handed player at middle blocker, a left-handed hitter. Normally that's saved for the right side, but very good at the middle blocking position, and that's where she is. Number 9, Stephanie Castillo, puts that one in the net. Now it's 23-22, so we're going to go down to the wire here in this first set. And into the game for the Trojans, number 16, Samantha Rodriguez. Also in the game, number 8, Catherine Sahik. Sahik, the other setter on the squad for the Foothill Trojans. And that's going to be a free ball. Sent long. Nice swing out of the back row by number 9, Jasmine Hernandez. And that one just dumped over to the right side. And now it's 24-22, and it's game point for the first set for the Vikings. And that one long. Once again, the Vikings having trouble tampering with that end line. Into the game for the Trojans, number 13, Caitlin Torres, and serving number 14, Jada Hurd. 24-23. Nice hit off the block and down, and now we're tied at 24. Hurd once again with the serve. And that one mishandled, and now they're down. The Vikings, for the first time in the game, down 24-25 to Foothill. And now this is game point for the Foothill Trojans. And coming into the game, and of course they stopped it, coming into the game, number 8, Talia Mosley. And Mosley actually coming into the back row in the place of number 8, in the place of number 6, Shanice Cristobal, the sophomore. And Mosley with the dig. And the Vikings really having trouble getting a good set right now. Good coverage on the dump there. And right now we're not seeing any powerful kills. Both teams having trouble getting a good set. That's a nice play there, but covered well by the Trojans. Big left-handed swing. Oh, and it hits the standard. And now we're tied at 25. And at some point, the camel's back has got to break. And that was it.
Everybody seems to be playing it safe right now.
That's right. So now in the game for the Vikings, number 10, Destiny Davison, serving number 11, Angelina Dominguez, the lefty. Dominguez with a powerful serve. Let's see if she uses it here. Well handled by the DS in the back row. And a joust at the net, and that's won by the Trojans. That's going to be 4 hits. And now the Trojans up 26-25. Coming back into the game, number 4, Erica Barraza, the senior libero for the Vikings. And serving number 7, Natalia Galvin. And this is game point for the Vikings. Correction, for the Trojans. And a missed opportunity on the set there. And a nice swing by number 13, covered well. That was number 13, Treasure Cotton. And that was covered well by the defense of the Trojans, but unable to do anything with it after that. And now in the game for the Trojans, number 4, Kelly Valencia, the senior defensive specialist. And then serving for the Vikings, number 14, Zandrea Araneta. And that's a good serve, and it just dove. And a missed swing there. Number 13, Treasure Cotton. And now it's 27-26 in favor of the Foothill Trojans. Transfers in on both sides. Number 3, Grace Fowler for the Vikings. And number 1, Tatiana Sahik for the Trojans. And that's going to do it for the first set. The Trojans take it 28-26. You're listening and watching coverage on the Kern High Network. We'll be right back.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
I'm a millennial, and for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do my banking online and at the ATM. And with access to over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs nationwide, Kern Schools is always close by.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
She said they don't count tournaments. They only count games. Welcome back to the Kern High Network, everybody. Tom Myers joined by Kevin Willey, Stephen Lynch, our photographer, Mark Duffel. Welcome in on the Kern High Network and all of our coverage of the 2019 volleyball season in Kern County. Also like to invite you to enjoy all the football coverage that we have going on Friday night. Once again, the 2 games of the week, it's going to be Ridgeview at BHS at 7:30 p.m. And then View Park at Frontier on the call for the BHS game. Vance Palm, Kenny Calvin, and Kevin Willie on camera. And then View Park, it's going to be Johnny Soper, Rick Van Horn, and Julian Wilson on camera.
Should have just left my sleeping bag up there on top of the press box at BHS.
Pretty much. You were just there last weekend.
That was my first time to work with Johnny. That was a lot of fun.
He does a good job, I'll tell you what. And so a quick thank you to the Kern High School, the West High School administrative staff for all the things that they've, just been so nice and welcoming us here. Put a great stand up here for us to set up our equipment today. That's Principal Megan Greger, Assistant Principal of Instruction Ryan Coleman, Assistant Principal of Administration Fabian Buckner, Dean of Students Zayana Araneta, and, of course, Athletic Director, our good friend Scott Davison. And I'd be remiss if I didn't also mention Genia Owens, Activities Director here at West High School. Once again, West High School, my alma mater, Kevin Willie's alma mater, but he's a little older than I am. We're not going to say how much, but if you want to find out how old he is, just cut him open and count the rings.
Just go back and listen to the beginning of the broadcast.
Yeah, I did. I let the cat out of the bag back then. That's true. So here we are in the second set. West High Vikings hosting the Foothill Trojans this evening. Vikings leading 1-0 here in the early going. The Foothill Trojans leading in the early going. And Steve Lynch gave me a nugget earlier, which I'll probably repeat all night long. The Vikings 0-8 against Foothill since 2015. So a squandered opportunity there in that first set. They were ahead by about 5-6 points at one point. And then Foothill just hanging around and finding their way back to fight into this game. So West High is going to have to do a little bit better job. And that one's in the net. Foothill called. That would be number 16, I believe. Samantha Rodriguez is called in the net, and the point goes to the Vikings. And now back to serve number 5, Karen Navarro. We didn't see Navarro in the first set, so we'll see what happens with her in the game now. And there's a swing, and off the block of Talia Mosley. That's number 7, Natalia Galvin. And Mosley all alone there in the middle and couldn't get her hands kind of even with the net, and it just went down and in. So now back to serve number 14, Jada Hurd. Hurd sends that one deep, and it's passed back over by the Vikings. And a little confusion there. That was between Catherine Sahik and Jasmine Hernandez, both looking at each other. And now the score is 2-1. Vikings lead. Serving once again, Shanice Cristobal now. And she sends that one into the net over on the left side. And we're tied at 2 apiece. Now back to serve for Foothill, number 7, Natalia Galvin. And once again, a little confusion by the Trojans. And now the score is 3-2. Entering the game for the Trojans, number 5, Ariana Blancarte. And Talia Mosley for the Vikings now serving. Good pickup by the DS in the back row there. And that one can't be handled out of the net. And the point's going to go to the Vikings, and now they're off to a quick 4-2 lead. Mosley serve. And that's a big swing by Jasmine Hernandez there. She's transferred now to the middle. And, boy, good defense by the Vikings, but that goes down by number 13, Caitlin Torres. And Torres with a big swing over there, cut it hard angle. And now the Trojans trail 3-4. And coming in to serve number 1, Tatiana Sahik. And Sahik, of course, the setter. And that's a tough spot for that number 11, Angelina Dominguez, being a lefty. On a set like that, it has to go to the outside. And usually a left side hitter is a right-hander, so managed to go ahead and joust that one down and scored the point. Now they're 5-3 is the lead by the Vikings. That's a nice swing by number 13, Treasure Cotton. And we've talked a lot about Treasure Cotton tonight and really just getting good reach and getting the ball down, not sending it long. Very low hitting error percentage. And now serving for the Vikings, number 9, Stephanie Castillo. Stephanie, a junior at West. That one just a bit low. Oh, he's called that in. It looked a little long, but I'll tell you what, it got called by the end judge. The line judge called it in, and our offside judge also called that in, so the point's going to go to the Vikings, and it's 7-3. West High leads Foothill. That one's set over, and Angelina Dominguez takes advantage of it and puts the ball down. With authority, 8-3, the Vikings lead the Trojans. Carino puts that one in the net, and it's 9-3 in favor of the Vikings. And entering the game, number 3, Taylor Mendez. Mendez, the senior. She comes in for Blancardi. That one's set over the net. And that's a big swing. Sent a little bit long by Treasure Cotton. 9-4, the Trojans trailing. Now serving number 13, Caitlin Torres, and coming into the front row, number 14, Jada Hurd for the Trojans. That one deep but in. Nice pickup by the libero. That one off a couple of hands and hard to handle for the Trojans, and now the lead extended by the Vikings, 10-4. Foothill libero coming back into the game, number 11, Alexis Arias. And serving for the Vikings, number 13, Treasure Cotton. And the official was signaling it before the serve even happened. They were out of rotation. And the point goes to the Vikings, and now the coach is going to try and figure out what happened. And they seem to have figured it out, and now we're underway again. Cotton with the serve. And a big swing there from beyond the 10-foot line. And that is, oh, that one's called out. That was number 9, Jasmine Hernandez. But it just missed. And now it's West High 12, Foothill 4. The biggest lead so far of the evening. And that's a nice floater there. No rotation on the ball whatsoever. Nice pickup by the libero, number 11, Alexis Arias. But unable to handle it from there. And the point now goes to West, 13-4. Vikings lead. And, of course, a little bit of a confusion there. Angelina Dominguez and Zandrea Araneta had a little bit of trouble figuring out who was going to pick that one up. Now in the game, number 13, Caitlin Torres for the Trojans, and serving number 4, Jada Hurd. Trojans trail 13-5 here in the second set. There's a nice kill. Angelina Dominguez on the kill for the Vikings. Nice hit from her power side, which is the right side as a left side hitter. Talia Mosley now in the front row in the middle. And that's a big block over in the right side by Zandrea Arnetta and Talia Mosley. Not sure which one of them got it, but they had everything they could handle from Jasmine Hernandez, that powerful hitter for the Trojans. 15-5, the Vikings now lead the Foothill Trojans here in the second set. Trojans lead 1-0. That's a high floater sent deep. And a nice dump over the net by number 10, Destiny Davis. Davis doing a good job of spotting the ball there. And now coming into the game for the Trojans, number 7, Natalia Galvin. She'll come into the front row on the left side. She will rotate over to the middle, and serving number 9, Jasmine Hernandez. And he called it in the net. Number 10, Diana Carino got called in the net. Point goes to the Vikings, and now it's 16-6. Going back to serve, number 14, Zandrea Araneta. And coming in for the Trojans, 2 rotations in. Number 16, Samantha Rodriguez, the senior. Also coming in, number 8, Catherine Sahik. By the way, Tatiana and Catherine are twins, and both setters on this squad for Foothill. That one off the tape. That is a kill. Number 6, Shanice Cristobal. It hit off the tape, rolled over the net and down, and the Foothill defender couldn't handle it. Nice swing there from the back row. And that one, I'm not sure. They're not going to call that multiple hits. Apparently, one of them hit it, then the other one did, and that one's down. Now the Vikings to an 18-6 lead. And the coach has been issued, for Foothill, has been issued a yellow card, and now she must take a seat for the remainder of the game. Arguing that last call, which I don't blame her. That's probably something that could be argued. And Foothill may need to call a timeout here. Now they're down 19-6 in the early going. So waiting for the whistle here. It finally gets blown. That's a nice floater. Good set. Good block by Mosley. That's picked up by the Trojans. Good job there. Mosley with a nice back set. For a middle blocker, you don't see that very often. And that's a nice dump by Mosley. Talia Mosley just spotting it up. Puts the ball down, and now the Vikings lead the Trojans 20-6 here in the second set. And Mosley, tons of power at the front net. Good block there. That one's set back row to Zandrea Arnetta. She puts it in the net, and now it's 20-7. And the Vikings are cruising here in the second set. Coming into the game for the Trojans, number 14, Jada Hurd. And for the Vikings, number 5, Karen Navarro. Caitlin Torres with the serve. And the ace for Torres. And now it's 20-8. There's a powerful swing, flat-footed even, number 9, Stephanie Castillo. And a good hard line cross on that one, and down it goes. And now the Vikings ahead 21-8. Shanice Cristobal, number 6, back to serve. And right there, Talia Mosley, the 5'10 senior, putting that one down, and it's 22-8. The Kern High School District would like to thank Motor City, Bakersfield College, and Kern Schools Federal Credit Union for their continued support of students in the district. Also, if you haven't had a chance yet, everybody stop by your local Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, pick up the Achieve magazine, the magazine of the Kern High Network and the Kern High School District. And boy, what a great bunch of information they have in there. They do multiple issues per year. This last issue was the introduction of all the principals and their message for the new school year. You can pick those up at Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, or you can also pick them up at the campus offices of every high school in the district this year. Once again, that's the award-winning Achieve magazine. And Mosley a little delayed on that, but ended up getting the ball up. And here comes a big swing by number 9, Jasmine Hernandez. And that one might have been off her hands. Yep, that was off the block, and the kill with number 14, Jada Hurd. And 22-10 now the score here in the second set. The Vikings lead the Foothill Trojans. It's the battle of the Vikings out of the SYL against the Trojans of the SEYL. Mosley, nice high set, and that's put down by number 9, Stephanie Castillo. That was a perfect set and perfect swing. And now coming into the game for the Trojans, number 3, Taylor Mendez. Mosley with the serve. And that one's going to be, it's going to come over and into the net, and it's, point to the Trojans. And it's 23-11, and quite a few transfers coming in now. Number 10, Diana Carino, and number 1, Tatiana Sahik for the Trojans, and Sahik will serve. Vikings lead 23-11 here in the second set. And now the Vikings are starting to warm up. Treasure Cotton. You know, that was a fantastic set by number 9, Stephanie Castillo. Got the ball way up in the air. And Cotton able to put it down, and now Castillo to serve. This is game point for the second set. And that one put down. Final set score, 25-11. We're tied at 1 apiece. We'll be back right after this.
Schools Federal Credit Union is here to be your lifelong financial partner. So while your financial life may start out with a Rocky Raccoon account, as you grow, we'll be with you every step of the way. From your first car and everyone thereafter, to investing in your family's future, to buying that special house you'll call home, Kern Schools is here to help. And if you live in Kern County, then you can bank with us. See, we're local just like you, so what we accomplish together benefits our entire community. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
It's summer sell down at Motor City GMC. The all-new GMC Sierra 4-door is under $30,000. We are professional grade and we're California's largest GMC dealer. Go to MotorCityGMC.com.
Current Schools Federal Credit Union has been the local choice to meet your financial needs. And just because we're local, you can still take us wherever your travels or life may be. From online and digital banking to mobile check deposit, Current Schools is always a tap away. Current Schools. Together, we have something special.
Welcome back in on the broadcast. Welcome to the Kern High Network, everybody. Joining us this evening from West High School, home of the West High Vikings. On the camera and production this evening, Mr. Kevin Willey. Kevin, glad to have you here.
Glad to be here.
Handling our story, Mr. Stephen Lynch. And working our photography, Mr. Mark Duffel. And we are missing a certain gentleman that we already talked about from Arvin, who I love calling volleyball with. I call BC volleyball with him and have a blast doing that. I get to call Kern High School football with him and have just learned a lot under our good friend Vance Palm, and hoping he's enjoying a nice evening, taking it easy at home, because he'll be back on the network on Friday. We'll be coming to you from Ridgeview High School, from BHS. Ridgeview visiting BHS. On the broadcast, Vance Palm, Kenny Calvin. Kenny, a great guy, too. Boy, I tell you what, I called a great game with Kenny Calvin on Friday night last week. It was South High and Golden Valley. Golden Valley at South. And Golden Valley 0-19 in their last 2 years. Had not won a game since November of 2017 and played a lights-out night of football and won that game 21-6 over the South High Rebels. Now, it was a lot closer than that score would tell you. There were a number of touchdowns called back, number of holding penalties on those touchdowns, that just heartbreakers, and, boy, really tough one. So, once again, join Vance and Kenny on the broadcast coming up on Friday night from BHS. And, of course, over at Frontier High School, also on Friday night, it's going to be Johnny Soper, our good new buddy, and Rick Van Horn, of course, the veteran coach and player from BHS days and East High days and all over Kern County. And, of course, the incomparable Julian Wilson. I always joke with him that he's won. He doesn't have to work out anymore. His arms can't get any bigger. Julian Wilson will be on the camera. So
we couldn't hardly get a shirt to fit him.
Exactly, we couldn't. So join us again on the Kern High Network coming up on Friday night. You're sure to tune in and watch a great game of the week at either one of those locations. You may notice that I will be also at Frontier, but I will be sitting in a press box in a very comfortable chair announcing the game on Friday night as Titan Tom Myers, the voice of the Frontier Titans. I should give that up. And so tune in on Friday. Love to have you guys come in and watch some great Kern County football. So West High off to a quick lead, tied up at one set apiece here in the third now. And now they're off to a 1-0 lead, and back to serve number 5, Karen Navarro. And once again, Talia Mosley, doing a great job there of setting the ball as a middle blocker. And everything she's been putting up has been perfect. They may want to switch her over to the setting position and take her out of that middle blocker role, because, boy, she's done a great job of setting up her other fellow front row hitters. And that one in the net just under the tape. And it's going to be 2-1, Foothill trailing here in the early going of the third game. Back to serve for the Trojans, number 8, Catherine Sahik. And Sahik sends that one long, and it was saved just at the line. Hard to tell if that was going to be in or gone. Good save by number 5, Karen Navarro. And that one's going to sail wide, and we're tied at 2 here in the third set. Fans of Kern High School District would like to thank Motor City, Bakersfield College, and Kern Schools Federal Credit Union for their continued support of students in the district. And that one sent wide by Navarro. And the Vikings trail now 2-3, and that would be the first time they've trailed since the end of the first set. And that one put down, Sahik with the ace. And now the Trojans off to a 4-2 lead. And that last set, 25-11, they're already almost halfway to their total score for the second set. And that's kind of how volleyball goes. It ebbs and flows. And, boy, and that ball hit the tape and dropped right on the line. And the point goes to the Trojans, and they're off to a quick 5-2 lead. And that one sails long. And right now the Vikings playing uncharacteristically compared to their last set. And sometimes that break will do that to you. And that dump isn't really working for him right now, just trying to get that one over. There's a nice high set. And a good swing by number 6, Shanice Cristobal. There's a good dump to Leah Mosley. And she spotted the middle of the floor, saw that one. She could have set it. And she did what a couple of other setters that we know really well around the Haley Pluggy comes to mind really quick. She had a chance to set that. They didn't see it coming and just turned and dumped the ball right over the net. Point goes to the Vikings. They trail 3-6 here in the third. Shanice Cristobal now to serve. Vikings trail 4-6. And there's a good swing by Treasure Cotton. And boy, we sure have been mentioning her name quite a bit tonight. The Vikings creeping back in, and now it's 5-6. And that one not even above the bottom tape. A little bit of a miss hit there. Now in the game for the Trojans, number 3, Taylor Mendez. Excuse me, number 13, Caitlin Torres. And serving number 14, Jada Hurd. Nice up by libero, Erica Barraza. And Mosley spots that one, but unable to put that one down. And Mosley once again looking to get a quick dump and easy points. And Mosley again. Boy, how many times are we going to call Talia Mosley's name? And that's Treasure Cotton there on the swing. There's a big swing. Number 7. Natalia Galvin and Treasure Cotton. Boy, what a rally they have going here. Nice touch on that set over the net. Number 9, Stephanie Castillo, and the point goes to the Vikings. Wow, what a rally. And now coming in for the Vikings, number 11, Angelina Dominguez. Libero, number 11, coming in for the Trojans, number 11, Alexis Arias. And serving number 8, Talia Mosley. Mosley puts that one in the net. And it's 6-8 in favor of the Foothill Trojans. Now back to serve number 7, Natalia Galvin. And off of 1 foot, number 9, Jasmine Hernandez coming around the side. And she puts that one away. And again, you see the power there. Really strong swing. And now back to serve again. Galvin once again. Trojans lead 9-6 here in the third set. We're tied at 1 game apiece. And just a simple swing. Left-handed swing. Angelina Dominguez with the left-handed swing there. That one goes down, and now it's 7-9.
Can't lose your concentration.
No, you can't. Couple players coming in now. Number 14, Zandria Araneta, and serving number 9, Stephanie Castillo. Nice pass off the free ball. And a mistake there by Angelina Dominguez. She just puts that one into the net. Trying to back set it and puts it into the tape. Now coming in for the Trojans, number 12, Mariah Ruana. And into serve, number 1, Tatiana Sahik. 10 serving 7. And that one is just a bit long. And I'm trying to figure this. I thought he called that out. He called it in. It's 11-7 now. And that's an ace by Sahik. And now it's 12 serving 7. So the tables turned here in the third set, and now we got a substitution. Number 10, Destiny Davis coming in for number 6, Shanice Cristobal. And here's Cotton. And she shorthands that one and puts it in the net, and now it's 13-7. You know, one thing you need to focus on as a player is not to go soft after you've gone extra at the ball. And so a mistake on her end, and that one's 4 hits. Looked like it was in the net, but if the ball reaches out to the player on the other side, it is not considered a net violation. And right now, I think the coach, Johnson's going to want to call, or Graham, she's going to want to call a timeout here in a second because they're losing control a little. It's 15-7. And several aces by Tatiana Sahik. Nice dig by Barraza. And that one a little bit long, and it's going to be out. And now the lead's going to extend 16-7 in favor of the Foothill Trojans. And now Kelsey Graham's going to call a timeout. So here we are in the third set. It's 16-7 in favor of the Foothill Trojans. We're tied at 1 game apiece. And boy, what memories this brings back. You know, the days of old. My years playing volleyball in this gym under my club coach, Dave Wittenberg, who was also a biology teacher here at West High School. And a couple of other players. Maybe they're listening tonight. I don't know if they are or not. But my fellow players, Todd Machaney, one of the best setters on the planet, and Richard and JoJo Bootleg, 2 tennis players converted to volleyball players that were incredible hitters. And boy, I'll tell you what, just great times in this gym.
I bet they had some mean serves.
Those guys could do just about everything right. Yeah, great passers. They were great all-around volleyball players, the both of them. And so 30-year reunion coming up for West High School here pretty soon. 30 years. So all of my friends that are former high school classmates listening tonight on the Kern High Network, I will see you in November. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we have a great evening of reminiscing. 16-7 here in the third set. And there's a big swing, number 9, Jasmine Hernandez. And we've been saying her name a lot so far this evening. And boy, big power in the middle there. Putting that ball down. And Sahik now, once again with the serve, it's about 5 or 6, 7 points in a row now. A number of aces included with that. And just a soft touch by number 13, Treasure Cotton. And just dumped it over the net. I don't know if they were expecting it to go deeper or what, but both of them were about the same depth there. And she puts the ball down, and now coming in for the Vikings, number 6, Shanice Cristobal. And, of course, Treasure Cotton now back to serve. 8 serving 17, West High trailing here in the third set. And that one, I don't even know what to call that. but just a couple of quick tips at the net and then dumped it over. And that's number 11, Angelina Dominguez, the middle blocker for the Vikings, and now it's 9-17. And the lefty puts that one deep. That one sent long. And the point to the Vikings, and they're slowly starting to creep back in now. 10 serving 17. And that one sent long. Once again, the Vikings today, that's been kind of their Achilles heel. Sending the ball long on serves and losing points. Unforced errors, not good.
Foothill's been doing a better job of seeing those and leaving them alone.
That's correct. And Cristobal trying to find a spot over there on the left side, sends it wide, and now it's 19-10 in favor of the Foothill Trojans. And Dominguez trying to dump the ball over the net, hits the tape, and it comes down inside. And now it's 20-10 in favor of the Trojans. Here in the third set, we're tied at 1 set apiece. And that one off the tape and down. Great serve over there by number 13, Caitlin Torres. And now it's 21-10. And that was a pass to no man's land. There wasn't anybody within 5 feet, and that ball just dropped straight down in the middle of 4 people. So West High trying to maintain their composure here in the late going of the third set, down 22-10. There's a big swing. That's what they were looking for. Number 11, Angelina Dominguez, putting that one down. Now it's 22-11. Coming back in for the West High Vikings, number 8, Talia Mosley. And Dominguez now back to serve for the Vikings. A big hill to climb here, down 22-11 in the third set for the Vikings. And Mosley trying to spot it, and she does. And a big point for the Vikings now, 12-22. Mosley once again foregoing power for precision, and she puts that one down, and now it's 13-22. And a glimmer of hope for the Vikings here in the third set. Big power there by number 9, Jasmine Hernandez. And once again, we're just seeing great hitting there in the middle and good sets. And now back to serve. That'll be Hernandez, and coming into the front row, that's number 7, Natalia Galvin. Mosley chasing that one down just to get it over the net. And that one not able to be returned, and now it's 14-23. Back to serve, Zandria Araneta. That one over off the hands of Araneta and out of bounds, and now it's 24-14. Coming into the game, number 15, Gianni Zatino. And into serve is number 8, Catherine Sahik. And it is game point for the third set. And that's going to fall, and that's going to do it. Foothill takes the third set, 25-14, and is up 2-1. We'll be back right after this.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
I'm a millennial, and for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do my banking online and at the ATM. And with access to over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs nationwide, Kern Schools is always close by.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the broadcast of Kern High School District Volleyball here on the Kern High Network. Tom Myers joined up here on the top of the bleachers at West High School. Our good friend Kevin Willey working the camera and production this evening for us. Kevin?
This is a nice place to watch a volleyball game.
Nice, bright gym, new lighting.
You're low and close to the court.
This gym is twice as bright as it was when I played in here. That's probably the reason why I missed balls, is because I couldn't see. We did use candlelight. Stephen Lynch
candlelight back there.
Weighing in. Hey, we'd like to recognize the administration staff of the Foothill Trojans. Of course, Principal Gail Bentley, Assistant Principal of Instruction Octavio Patino, Assistant Principal of Administration Jody Schupert, Dean of Students Mr. Derek Reed, Director of Athletics, Mr. Mike Bezad, Mike, good buddy of mine, and Director of Activities Jennifer West. So here we are in the fourth set. The Trojans leading the Vikings 2-1. And Mosley wins the block at the net. And the West High Vikings off to a 1-0 lead here in the fourth set. Coming up at the conclusion of this evening's game, you'll have to check on Facebook or Twitter for the Kern High Network Player of the Game. I will be awarding that once again at the end of the game, but I think it's going to be a three-way vote between Steve Lynch and Kevin and myself. So be sure to check out Facebook or Twitter at KHSD Athletics to find out who that is. And, of course, we will name it, but there will be a photo of them with their shirt, and we'll post that on Facebook and Twitter. Nice work by Cotton back there on that dig. There's a good swing. Number 11, Angelina Dominguez, putting that one down for the Vikings. And the Vikings now 3-0. Off to a quick 3-0 lead here in the fourth set. Dominguez trying to spot that ball. Nice dig by libero number 4, Erica Barraza in the back row. And good touch by Mosley, but picked up well by the Trojans. And that one was long, but they didn't call her off. And now it's 3-1. Again, West High tonight having trouble with that end line and not really communicating that well with their teammates trying to get them called off. Caitlin Torres now in the front row for the Trojans, and Jada Hurd serving. There's Mosley, and really didn't get a hold of all of it, but got over enough over the net, and then it dropped. And we've said Talia Mosley's name quite a few times this evening. Foothill libero back in the game. Alexis Arias, number 11 in the white jersey there. And Talia Mosley for the Vikings now serving. Vikings lead 4-1 here in the fourth set. Mosley, good dig in the back row there. And that one sent long by Dominguez. Vikings off to a quick 5-1 lead here in the fourth set. They trail 2-1. And now coming in for the Trojans, number 4, Kelly Valencia, the senior. Valencia, a defensive specialist. And they go right at her. Great job by Valencia in the back row after coming off the bench. She's touched the ball on every time over so far. And that one sent long. Oh, it's in. Dropped on the line. That was number 14, Zandria Araneta. And now coming back into the game for the Trojans, number 9, Jasmine Hernandez. Hernandez taking the place of Valencia. Valencia doing a great job.
She came out to have a little powwow with the coach.
Well, that's the part of a teammate that may not be a starter. If they serve a role, they do what they're supposed to do. Great job. Great job by Kelly Valencia. And that one long. Treasure Cotton.
That's almost a talent in itself, to sit on the bench for most of the game and then come in, play 3 or 4 good rounds, and then come out.
After you've been cold? Oh, absolutely. Now serving Natalia Galvin for the Trojans. It's 6-2. The Vikings lead here in the fourth set. And not a lot of power on that one, but placed it perfect. Number 11, Angelina Dominguez. Now in for the Trojans, Taylor Mendez, number 3. And Dominguez for the Vikings now back to serve as they lead 7-2 here in the fourth set. And boy, have we seen back and forth by both teams, up and down, hot and cold. And there's a big swing over there on the left side. That was number 9, number 9, Jasmine Hernandez. And Hernandez with a lot of passion on that swing. You saw that one coming. Number 12, Mariah Ruana in the front row for the Trojans, and serving number 1, Tatiana Sahik. Sahik with a nice floater there to the back row. Hard to handle there. And good job placing there by number 9, Hernandez. Hernandez with another. Again, placing the ball all the way around, doing a great job there. And that one can't be handled by Mosley. And now it's 7-4. And that one's long. Destiny Davis sends that one past the end line. Trojans climbing back in, trailing 7-5 here in the fourth set and leading 2-1. This is do or die for the West High Vikings right now. And that one not really hit hard by Treasure Cotton, but placed well and dropped right in the middle of the floor just a little bit past the 10-foot line, and the Vikings extend back 8-5. Zandria Araneta now with the serve. And again, that one may have been a little bit long. And Cotton looking for the ball. And she puts that one down, not passed well. And the point goes to the Vikings, and they lead 9-5. The middle blocker, Talia Mosley, has been kept in to play in the back row on defense. And that one put in the net, and now it's 9-6. And a player substitution on its way for the Vikings. Number 3, Grace Fowler in the game. In the game for the Trojans, number 14, Jada Hurd, and serving number 13, Caitlin Torres. Castillo, she puts that one back. Oh, and that one hit the standard, so it's going to be out of bounds. And the Vikings extend to 10-6. Foothill libero, number 11, Alexis Arias back in the game and serving number 13, Treasure Cotton for the Vikings. That one just off the tape and back down. Nice idea, but a little short. In the front row, number 7, Natalia Galvin for the Trojans and serving number 9, Jasmine Hernandez. Hernandez with the jump, and it floats over. Nice pickup by Mosley. That one handled well by number 9, Stephanie Castillo. Mosley with the kill. Talia does a good job of hitting from the right side as well as the middle. And not only that, we've seen it tonight. She does a great job setting as well. Number 10, Destiny Davis now with the serve. And Davis, she's going to get the ace out of that one. And I don't know if she meant to hit that one or mishit it, but it was kind of off the right side of her hand and almost out of bounds over on that far side. May have been. But sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good. And it's 12-7 in favor of the Vikings here in the fourth set. Mosley once again with a good swing. A little off the net. And that one uncharacteristically sent long by number 9, Jasmine Hernandez. Lead now extended 13-7 in favor of the Vikings.
It's been difficult for both these teams to come back from that kind of a lead.
And tonight they seem to be extending and then falling behind and then extending and then falling behind. And that's per set, by the way. Not there's really not been any comebacks much except for the first set. The other three, it's been pretty much one team the whole time. And good placement there by number 9, Stephanie Castillo, pushing that to the back row. No one back there to cover. And now the Vikings extend the lead 14-7. And a nice touch there by number 12, Mariah Ruana. And now Ruana will come out, as will Sahik. And in for Sahik, number 15, Gianni Zatino. And to serve, number 8, Catherine Sahik, the other setter and twin sister of Tatiana. Trojans trail 14-8 here in the fourth. And good placement, nobody in the middle and nobody up to block on that. And the Trojans come within 5 and now trail 14-9. Nice play off the block there by the Trojans. And a good pickup by number 4, Erica Barraza, the libero for West. And West takes the point now and extends to 15-9. Fans, the Kern High School District would like to thank Motor City Bakersfield College and Kearns Schools Federal Credit Union for their continued support of students in the district. And that's not so much a spike as it was just kind of a slap at it and a swat down, and now the Vikings lead 16-9, and Brooke Charles wants to have a conversation. So once again, coming up on Friday night on the Kern High Network, be sure to tune in, 7:30 game time. Game of the week, Ridgeview at BHS. On the broadcast, our good friend Vance Palm, Kenny Calvin, one of the best color guys in the business. He'll be on the broadcast as well. And Kevin Willie, you will also be on the broadcast coming live from Bakersfield High School.
Yeah, if Vance lets me talk.
If Vance lets you have a word in edgewise, that's true, and I understand that all too well. Then over at Frontier High School, another game of the week, it's View Park from Southern California, and they'll be taking on Frontier High School. On the broadcast, Johnny Soper, Rick Van Horn, and Julian Wilson on camera. Two good broadcasts coming up this week. You're really going to have to choose between the two of them. But hey,
but you don't have to choose.
Get two devices and watch them both. That's what I say.
You can watch one game, then you can go back and watch the
second
game.
And fans that actually go out to the game is broadcast live, and you can pick it up on your phone or tablet if you have wireless access and watch that game as it unfolds. So 16-9 here in the fourth set. The Vikings trail 2-1, so this is do or die for them right now. They're in a good position as they lead in the fourth set. Cotton with a good get in the back row. And Mosley with the put down. And it's 17-9 in favor of the Vikings. Castillo's serve. And a tip at the net by number 11, Angelina Dominguez. And once again, we see a different team, Kevin, every other set. The Vikings back to form as they were in set number 2. We did not see the same squad in set number 3. Nice block by Mosley. Picked up well by the Trojans. That one sent deep, picked up by the libero, number 4, Erica Barraza. And Mosley sends that one long. And it's 18-10, Foothill trailing here in the fourth set.
I don't know. Maybe you get used to one side of the court and you kind of favor that court because it seems like every time we switch, the other team's doing better.
I have not checked that, but I believe that is a thing. Jada Hurd with the serve now for the Trojans. And unable to be handled by the defense of the Vikings, and now it's 18-11. Nice kill to the back row, number 14, Zandria Araneta. Araneta flat-footed that one and just swung over and snapped that ball down and in off the defensive specialist there in the back row. And now serving Talia Mosley for the Vikings as they lead 19-11 here in the fourth set. Little confusion by the Vikings on that one. Foothill now trailing 19-12. Cotton with a nice pass right at the net. It's dumped over, and now they lead 20-12. In the game for the Trojans, number 3, Taylor Mendez. And the Vikings just came in, number 10, Destiny Davis, and back to serve is Angelina Dominguez, number 11 for the squad. And the Vikings communicating, calling her off. Ball drops out of bounds, and now it's 21-12. Vikings with a commanding lead here in the fourth. It appears as if we're going to go to a fifth, but I never say never. I never say I've never seen it happen where someone's come back. And there's a big swing. That's the biggest swing we've seen all night by Jasmine Hernandez. And Hernandez seemed to be getting her stride right now, and boy, did she put that one down. It was hard to handle the Vikings. That one went all the way up into the stands on the other side. Not even close to the court. Powerful swing. I'll give it to the DS over on that other side for the Vikings for getting a hold of that one because it was really coming fast. 21-13 here in the fourth. Vikings lead the Foothill Trojans. And a good eye there by number 10, Destiny Davis. Got a good spot there on the court and put the ball there. And it's 22-13 Vikings. Zandria Araneta now serving for the Vikings. And that one put down number 10, Destiny Davis. So now it's 23-13. And the Vikings seem to be ready to tie this one up at 2 games apiece. And a little bit of confusion there. Destiny Davis and Treasure Cotton, both of them kind of looking at each other on that one. And Grace Fowler for the Vikings now coming in. Alexis Arias coming out of the game, the libero, in favor of a hitter in the front row for the Trojans. That hitter is number 14, Jada Hurd. And here comes Hurd. And Cotton in the net all the way on that one. There was no doubt and no argument coming from her coach. And I love how the official pointed down the line and gave the number. And, of course, now it's 23-15. Kelsey Graham wants to kind of hold things up a little bit. And, they got 2 points to go, Kevin, and I can't, maybe you call a timeout here, maybe you don't. Maybe you let him go a little longer. Maybe she's seen something she doesn't like.
I don't know. You got me on
they don't call him the best color man in the business for nothing. So here we are. It's West High School, 30 years after the date that I graduated.
That's why Vance doesn't let me talk about it.
Yeah, 34 years after you were here. And, boy, what a night for high school volleyball. And, of course, a lot of volleyball coming up this season. Make sure you tune into the Current High Network all season long. Going to have some great matches this season. And league play coming up pretty soon. A lot of schools out there. I know that I've already asked. There is a certain game at BHS between a certain team and BHS. That team would be Frontier High School. Of course, the team my daughter plays for, my senior Macy Myers, is a setter on the for the Titan program, as is her best friend, Haley Pluggy, one of her best friends. And I'm really excited to watch them play BHS. Vance and I think, are going to call that game. His daughter, of course, Ava Palm, on the other side of the squad. So it's going to be 2 dads calling volleyball with their daughters on the court in one night.
I'm going to have to set my camera up in between.
We're going to call it Myers versus Palm 2019. And it is game point now for the Vikings as they lead 24-15 here in the fourth set. And again, another big swing by Jasmine Hernandez. Mosley setting that one to the back row. Little confusion in the front row there between Hernandez. Nice get by Erica Barraza in the back row there for the Vikings, the libero in green. That one down the line, it's going to be 4 hits, and the Titans are going to take the fourth set 25-15. We're tied at 2, going to a fifth set right after this.
Schools Federal Credit Union is here to be your lifelong financial partner. So while your financial life may start out with a Rocky Raccoon account, as you grow, we'll be with you every step of the way. From your first car and everyone thereafter, to investing in your family's future, to buying that special house you'll call home, Kern Schools is here to help. And if you live in Kern County, then you can bank with us. together benefits our entire community. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
It's summer sell down at Motor City GMC. The all-new GMC Sierra 4-door is under $30,000. We are professional grade and we're California's largest GMC dealer. Go to MotorCityGMC.com.
Welcome back to the Kern High Network and our broadcast and coverage of the 2019 volleyball season here in Kern County. Joining you from West High School this evening, it's the West High Vikings, my former alma mater, as well as Kevin Willie's. This is Tom Myers on the broadcast, Kevin Willie on camera and production, and, of course, Steve Lynch doing our writing for this evening. And our photographer, Mark Duffel. So, Mark, thanks for coming out and helping us out this evening with photographs. And, of course, a lot of these photographs end up in your favorite Kern High School District award-winning Achieve magazine. Have to drop that one in there a little bit for our good friend Mr. Stan Green, who is kind of the spearhead of all of this stuff that we do in the Kern High Network.
Achieve magazine this month, this semester. I don't know what you call it.
And it is a story by Steve Lynch on the cover this month that I understand, as Steve has just told me, on the new pool. The new pool coming out in the fall, and I was also a springboard diver at West High School, and would have loved to have had my own diving pool when I was in high school. There's going to be a new diving pool out at Independence High School at the new Swim Aquatic Center for the Kern High School Network. The Kern High Network, the Kern High School District. Kern High Network, Kern Network, Kern District, it all gets confusing. So, once again, everybody, welcome in on the broadcast this evening. We're going to a fifth set. We're tied to 2 sets apiece. Couple of little newsworthy notes and nuggets as the players from Foothill and West High look at me while I'm broadcasting. But this is kind of a good one. Steve Lynch gave me this little nugget. The Vikings have not defeated the Foothill Trojans in the last 8 tries. They are 0-8 since 2015 against the Trojans. Another note, on this court this evening, the team that is on the right side, which is where the Vikings are right now, has won the set. So, with everything being a constant and all the numbers that we look at and everything that we do in this,
so if you believe in
funny game, right now I say it probably may favor the Vikings being on the right side. So here we go. Into the fifth set. The game will go to 15. Good coverage by the Vikings. Talia Mosley right there. Mosley with the swing. And down inside the block and the point. And the Vikings are off to a quick 1-0 lead.
Neither team can afford to let the other one get too far ahead because comebacks in this match have been few.
And we've seen a lot of leads get extended here early. And a nice dig by Erica Barraza in the backyard. Talia Mosley. And Mosley starting to take over here in the fifth set. That's 2-0. And she's having a good time in the front row. They're hitting from the right side because while she's on the right side, Angelina Dominguez is in the middle. And Mosley, in my opinion, a much better hitter from the right side than she is from the middle. So that one sent long. Erica Barraza doing a good job of waving off on that one. And the Vikings now off to a 3-0 lead. That one just gets over the net, but it can't be handled. And now it's 4-0, the Vikings. And Brooke Charles wants the Trojans to talk it over, not really wanting to get off to this kind of a start to the fifth set, down 4-0. And it is surprisingly quiet in here. We've lost a few fans in the late going. You know, it's hard to stay for 5 sets sometimes.
And the suspense starts to when you come into the fifth set, the pressure starts coming at you.
It sure does. So give it up for these girls for what they're doing, and I'll tell you what. So one thing we didn't discuss is that, you know, this is the Kern High Network at www.kernhighnetwork.com. It's viewable all over the world. And so it's viewable to Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't say hello to my son in Tennessee, my stepson, Blake Pierce, who's in Tennessee. My daughter, who is going to Israel, Megan. She'll be leaving in a week. She'll be able to catch games on the Kern High Network all the way from Israel. And then, of course, my other son, Trent Pierce, here in town. I think he's at work right now. And if he's at work, he shouldn't be watching this game. And, of course, my daughter, Macy, that volleyball player for the Frontier High School squad, which has got a really talented group of girls this year. And the Vikings starting to hit their stride a little bit here. That one was blocked or hit the net. But regardless, we're going to give it to Angelina Dominguez there. And the Vikings now extend their lead 5-0. Of course, the Vikings here on their home court. And that's a nice dump by the setter there. And here's Mosley again. And Talia Mosley taking over in the fifth set. Her third kill here in the fifth. And Mosley really likes that right side. She does very well on that side. Excuse me, the left side, I should say, as she is a right-handed hitter. And it's 6-0 the Vikings here in the fifth set.
Foothill really needs to make something happen right now.
There's a nice dig by Cotton from the back row. And here goes Mosley again. And she didn't like it, but she spotted it anyway. And now the Vikings off to a 7-0 lead. And that's a nice get in the back row there by Cotton. Let's see if the Trojans could do anything with it here. And Cotton doing a great job in the back row for the Vikings right now. And that one through the block. That was number 7, Natalia Galvin. And the Trojans now on the board as they trail 7-1 here in the fifth. And back to serve, Catherine Sahik, the senior setter. Nice floater by Sahik. That one's hard to handle. And that one sent way long. And Erica Barraza knows. Missed opportunity there. She knew she sent that one towards South America. Nice swing out of the back row. That was Jasmine Hernandez. And both teams are really turning up the heat now. And Jada Hurd short-armed that one. And wishes that she could have that one back. They trail now 8-2. But both teams have elevated their play here in the fifth set. The score doesn't really give an accurate description of how well they're playing. A lot of rallies going on right now. Cotton finds and places that ball right through the hands of Catherine Sahik. And now it's 9-2. And right now, the Trojans just defeated. Talia Mosley now back to serve. Mosley a contender for player of the game right now. And she called it out, but it wasn't. And we've seen a lot of them go after him tonight, Kevin, that have been out that they haven't gone after. But that they have gone after, rather. And now serving Number 14, Jada Hurd. It's 10-3 in favor of the Vikings. And that one is in. Nice kill by number 7, Natalia Galvin. Galvin just hitting that line. Galvin only a junior this year, so she's got another year with the squad. And there's an ace, and now it's 10-5. So that deficit is now being cut. And Jada Hurd once again with the serve. There's a nice kill by number 13, Caitlin Torres. And now everyone's starting to pick up the pace for the Foothill Trojans. Transferring into the game for the Vikings, number 6, Shanice Cristobal. Vikings trying to get a side out here. Mosley in the back row, so we're not going to see her for a little bit here. Nice free ball. We'll see if we can get a good set here. And that one just tapped over the net. Not even a full swing. I don't know what she tried to do, but just placed it perfectly. And now it's 11-6, and the Vikings only need 4 points to win in the game for the Vikings. Number 10, Destiny Davis, and serving number 11, Angelina Dominguez. And Mosley trying to stretch for it and can't. And now it's 11-7. And the Trojans pull within 4.
Trojans have really been having to work hard for their points. Long volleys and
Natalia Galvin's serve, handled by Mosley. And here's Mosley out of the back row. Nice flat-footed swing. And a big block up front. We haven't seen that much. Jasmine Hernandez there. And that one off the tape and off the block and down, number 13, Caitlin Torres. And now it's 11-8. And the coach wants to have a little conversation. She's getting flagged with a yellow card now. So now both coaches have been carded in this game. So our up official has flagged both coaches now. They cannot get up now. They have to remain seated for the remainder of the match, which isn't going to be a whole lot longer. Big swing over there on the left side. And that one I handled well by Natalia Galvin. And now it's 12-8 Vikings. Coming into the game for the Trojans now, that's number 3, Taylor Mendez. And serving number 14, Zandria Araneta. Nice pass. And that one just swatted at by Destiny Davis. And now it's 13-8. Fans coming up at the conclusion of tonight's game. The Kern High Network Player of the Game decided by myself, Kevin Willie, and Stephen Lynch. That one mishandled just a little bit. Now it's 13-9, and coming back into the game for the Trojans, number 12, Mariah Ruana, and number 1, Tatiana Sahik, and Sahik will serve. And coming in for the Vikings, number 3, Grace Fowler. Fowler, the setter. And that's a big swing right there. Number 9, Stephanie Castillo. And that's some of the biggest power we've seen out of her all evening long. And if you look in the front row, look who's there. Number 8, Talia Mosley. She's back in the front row. We'll see if they go to her in this next one. It's match point right now, and that's going to do it. And the Vikings take it 3-2 and win the final one 15-9 and snap an 8-game losing streak against the Foothill Trojans. I am speechless. We'll be back, though, right after this with tonight's player of the game. Yeah, mine too.
One thing about Kern Schools is you get to do your banking your way.
I'm a traditional banker. I still like writing checks and visiting my branch.
I'm a millennial, and for me, it's all about the mobile.
And I'm somewhere in between. I still do my banking online and at the ATM. And with access to over 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs nationwide, Kern Schools is always close by.
So no matter how you do your banking, Kern Schools is always there. That's why we're the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County. Kern Schools, together we have something special.
Welcome back, everybody, to our broadcast, the Kern High Network of Kern High School District Volleyball here in the 2019 season. Tom Myers on the broadcast this evening with my good friend Kevin Willey and, of course, Stephen Lynch doing our story this evening, Mark Duffel doing our photography. And now it's that time of the evening for the Kern High Network Player of the Game. And, of course, what an exciting one, Kevin. I'll tell you what, it was, both sides. Foothill had a number of great players. Tatiana Sahik, the setter. Alexis Arias, the libero, Caitlin Torres, and Jada Hurd, both doing great job around the court. You can't take anything away from them. And then on the other side, we have Talia Mosley, Stephanie Castillo, the setter, Angelina Dominguez, and Treasure Cotton. And Treasure Cotton was all over the place, front and back row. So, really, a lot of players to choose from for tonight's game.
To choose from.
That's right. So, everything being what it is, a great job by the Foothill Trojans tonight. Played a fantastic game. Great job, ladies. I'm looking at them right now. They did a fantastic job, went the full distance on this game. But we're going to give this one this evening to Talia Mosley, senior, transfer from Stockdale, middle blocker, great hitter. What really did it for her down the stretch was the command that she that she showed in the fourth and fifth sets, don't you think?
That fourth set really, she stepped up, and up until that, I thought Cotton had it locked down. But.
That's right. And so great job by Talia this evening. So once again, join us back here again on Friday night. The Kern High Network's broadcast of the Games of the Week. Once again, we're going to be coming from Bakersfield High School. Ridgeview will be there. On the broadcast, Vance Ball and Kenny Calvin. Kevin, you'll be handling the production and camera duties that evening. And then over at Frontier High School, it's going to be View Park from down south coming in. And they'll be taking on Frontier High School. Of course, I'll be doing the public address announcing the evening for the game. And joining us on the mic will be Johnny Soper, Rick Van Horn, and Julian Wilson will be handling production and camera duties. So for all of us here at the Kern High Network, once again, the Vikings snap an 8-game losing streak, and win this one 3-2. We'll see you back here next week.